What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, future entrepreneurs? I'm guessing you're revising for your exam, so keep it up. Now, this video is about the marketing mix. We're going to be looking at product, price, and promotion mainly. We're going to leave place for a different video. Now, this is part of the marketing mix. The marketing mix helps with planning a marketing campaign, so it ties in very well with the topics of segmentation, target, and positioning, which is the way you plan a marketing campaign. Um, so when we think about the marketing mix, we look at the four P's: product, place, price, promotion. And we also have the integrated marketing mix, and that's adding on people, physical environment, and the process of making the product, the service. So let's crack on with product. Now, products out there are many, and they have profiles. We look at a let's look at Capri Sun versus appetizer. So they both have fruit juice, but they have a very different profile. We have an appetizer is aimed at 25-year-old females or above on a night out, looking at an alternative to an alcoholic drink. Whereas a Capri Sun is aimed at mothers, first of all, and secondary is at children, and they're looking at lunch boxes. So again, the way it's packaged, the way it's sold, the advertisement, the promotion, the type of campaign, the brand ambassadors, and the pricing strategies are very different for both. So we're going to look at things in a bit more detail. Now, again, the first thing to understand is what factors affect all these P's. So there's 5 factors that affect the marketing mix. Number 1 is market research. When you're looking at creating a product or looking at analyzing the product, the level of market research will be important in terms of, are you doing it? Is it quantitative? Is it qualitative? Is it out of research? Is it out of intuition or experience from the owner, from people that are working in the business? So that's going to affect the marketing mix. The second point is the level of competition. We have a very competitive environment versus a monopoly. So a very competitive environment is going to look at branding, is going to create an awareness, showing the positioning of the product. Whereas a monopoly, not as much, because they are the only sellers. So where else are you going to buy from? So for them, some of the P's are not as important. They carry less weight. So a competitive market is the one that focuses heavily on product differentiation. When you go to the supermarket and you see a variety of cereal boxes, variety of toothpastes, shampoos, that's because they're trying to differentiate themselves. They're trying to appeal to you and grab your attention. So yeah, competition. So we look market research, competition. Then we have the positioning of the product. And the segmentation of the product and the geographical location of it, either of the business or the actual product. So when we look at segmentation and positioning, segmentation, we're looking at who are we aiming the product at from the possible customers we can have. What's our niche? Who are we aiming it at? So the type of behavior. Are they early adopters? Are they females? Are they males? Are they mothers? Are they single? So this is the segmentation of the product. Then we are looking at the positioning. Again, you can use a scale, which is kind of a vertical line. At the top is brand love, and at the bottom is kind of a cold utility. So take into account, I don't know, Monster energy drink. So there's brand love for energy drinks like Monster, like the brand is well known. Whereas for Boost, it's seen as a utility. It's a cheap option. So that's a scale, and that can tell you the positioning of the product. What does it offer in the market? Is it brand loyalty? Is it brand awareness? Is it a fashion statement, a status, or is it just something that solves your problem and is a cheap option? So that's the positioning of the product. Is their value proposition? What are they offering you, the consumer? So then we have the final one, the fifth factor that affects the marketing mix, and that's the location. So where is the product placed, and where is the business based? When we have manufacturing companies like CocaCola, they'll have their factory on zone 4 around Edmonton, so that they have space and they can manufacture products and they're close to the M25, the North Circular, to be able to deliver these products. Now, retailers, Marks and Spencer or a convenience store, they are based close to where people live. They're not based in industrial states because they need to be close to the consumer. So again, the location is quite important. And within the shop, the location is also important of the product. Is it going to be at the back of the shop? Is it going to be at the front? Is there going to be a display, some sort of merchandising that will help entice people to buy the product? So the location of the product in the store. So those are the kind of the 5 key things that affect the marketing mix. The market research, the level of competition, the market segmentation, the market positioning, and the geographical and the location of the product. So let's start with product itself. The product is not just the liquid, the like what's inside this can. The product is also the packaging, the logo. Does it appeal to me? Does it not? The information on it. Can I close it? Can I open it back again? Is it a one-time use only? Is it eco-friendly? So that is the product. Now the product there's 3 kinds of product that we need to know. One is a convenience good, and this is what you buy in a corner shop, or what they also call a convenience store, and it's the products you buy very often, such as bread, butter, milk. And then you have shopping goods, such as clothes and furniture, durable goods, so that you don't just use them one time, you can use them over a long period of time. And then finally you have specialty goods, and these are goods that are sort of tailor-made for you. So it could be a tailor-made suit, it could be a wedding dress, it could be a sports car, something that's somehow made for you. So it's a specialty good. A specialty good tend to be income elastic. So we're looking at luxury products, wedding dresses, that are tailor-made for you. And on the other hand, when we look at convenience goods, they're price elastic. Not income elastic, but price elastic, because if they charge a higher than average price, people tend to move away from that brand and go to a different brand. So they're considered quite price elastic. Now, when we look at shopping goods, they could be both. They could be price elastic or price inelastic, depending on the brand loyalty, depending on the quality, depending on the following they've created through a good marketing plan. Now, so these are the 3 types of products. Now, tools that we can use to analyze products are the Boston Matrix and the product life cycle. Look at that. It's my kitchen, my fridge. So the Boston Matrix has 2 axes. On the x-axis we have the market share, so market share, and on the other one we have market growth. And this divides itself into 4. So we have these 4 boxes, and each of them has a name. So if a product has very little market share and there's no market growth, it's considered to be a dog. So a dog. So what would be a dog at the moment? Think about DVD players, right? So once upon a time, a DVD player used to cost £1,000. I never bought one at £1,000. It was too expensive, but people were buying them. Whereas now, nobody pays a pound for a DVD player, and that's because number one, anybody selling DVD players has probably got a very low market share. It's close to 0, and there's no market growth for DVD players, so they're a dog. Not what you want to have in your portfolio. Then we have this side. So here we have a lot of market share but no growth. This will be like the Coca-Colas out there, the brands that are selling a lot but there's just no more growth. So these are called cash cows. So we've got cash and cash cows. And why do I say Coca-Cola? Because they have they have a large market share, but the problem is that year on year, there's only an increase of 2% or 4%, which is very low. So there's no real growth when we look at carbonated drinks. So what do we have up here? So this seems quite good, right? You got a lot of growth in terms of the market, and you have a lot of market share. So this is called a star. So a star would be a product that is in growth, and you also have a lot of market share here. So if we think about soft drinks, this will be your Monster energy drink. You know, they have a lot of growth in the energy drinks sector and in the market for energy drinks, and also they have a lot of market share. They have like 30% of the market share, so it's quite a big chunk of the market share. So Monster energy drink will be considered a star. Then on this side we have the question mark. This is called a question mark, or also known as a problem child. And these are products that are in a market that is overall seeing a lot of growth, but the product itself has very little market share. If we think about, I don't know what, we can think of products like, let me think, growth. I can think of mobile phones. I would guess something like the brand, not the phone, but the brand BlackBerry. So phones, there's still growth. You know, people are still buying phones, but BlackBerry has very little market share. So even though there's growth in that market, they have very little market share. So there'll be a question mark. So in terms of drinks, this one would be so growth in the sector, but little market share. This will be your Rockstar, or what did I saw? It was something like there was a drink in the Tesco. It's called Engine. It's an energy drink. So is there growth for energy drinks? Yes, there is. Does Engine have a lot of market share? No, it doesn't. I've never seen it. I didn't buy it, but it looked cool. So there'll be a question mark. Very little market share, but in a market that is growing. So quite a lot of growth. So up here, but very little market share. So there you go. That's Engine, the energy drink. This will be Monster, large market share in the growth market. This will be your Coca-Cola. This will be your, I guess, your iPhone. You know, it's a cash cow. The market is not growing as much, or it's not growing, but they have a lot of market share. Or Riley's chewing gum. They hold like 80-90% of the market. They make all the chewing gum that you see out there. There's like a cash cow. The demand for chewing gum is not growing, but they have like a huge market share. Dogs are the ones who are little market share and no growth in that market. So these are the brands, products that are eventually dying off. So this tool is called the Boston Matrix. It's devised by the Boston Consultancy Group. So consultancies are businesses that employ people who specialize in particular areas and help businesses solve problems. So it's a business that helps other businesses. And the Boston Matrix is one of the best world-known consultancy out there. So maybe apply for a job there. There we go, the Boston Matrix. This helps us understand a portfolio of products. Like I said before, when I look at brands, let's look at Coca-Cola brands, right? So if I think of Capri Sun, so Capri Sun would be, I think it'll be either question mark / star. You know, they didn't have much market share, but there's an area of growth there. The way I see it, you know, there's demand for fruit juice, for healthy drinks, not energy drinks, but healthy drinks, fruit juice drinks. And if anything, I think innocent smoothies has kind of taken the lead when it comes to healthy drinks. So innocent smoothies, I mean, you're looking at a star there. They did quite well. Then again, innocent smoothies owned by Coca-Cola as well. So innocent smoothies will be here. Capri Sun will be more here, question mark. And cash cows, this will be your Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite. Dogs will be brands people are not really purchasing anymore from Coca-Cola, like CocaCola Life. They didn't do that well. Eventually they had to take it out of their portfolio because the sales just didn't pick up. Coca-Cola Life was a drink which used a stevia as a sweetener. And the reason it was introduced in the market was because market research showed that people were looking for a sugar-free alternative, and they wanted something else other than the current sweetener available. So they introduced Coca-Cola Life, which it has the taste of Coca-Cola, but it has a stevia as a sweetener. And but how, they couldn't foretell that the demand was just not there and the taste wasn't great. Stevia, the sweetener, did have a particular taste which the European palate was not accustomed to. So they'd have very, very little market share, and there was no growth for that. So here we go, a dog which eventually was kicked out of the portfolio. The other tool that we can use to analyze is the market product is the my last minute is the life cycle of the product. So the product life cycle, I don't know, maybe I'll put it here. We have time, and we have sort of this way. I can use sales, number of sales, and we have some, like this bit before the introduction is the development. So this is development. When you research, when you make a product, then you have the introduction, when you start getting a few sales, and then you have growth, then you reach a period of maturity, and then there's two options: either a decline, or you have an extension strategy, and you keep on growing. And these are similar to those steps. So when you look at the development is not quite there. The development is just putting a lot of money into trying to develop something, and this involves a lot of market research, a lot of spending, a lot of researching and time. The next step is the introduction. So the introduction, this is when you create awareness about your brand, and you can choose different marketing campaigns, like a niche marketing campaign or a mass marketing campaign. In most cases, they recommend to use a niche marketing campaign because mass marketing campaigns are very expensive, especially if you're a small business. If you're a big business, then a mass marketing campaign is fine because your brand is already well known. The next step is growth, and this is a great spot, and this is when the brand profile suddenly gets its image. So the brand profile for let's say appetizer, right? Females, sophisticated, alternative to alcohol, healthy drink. So this period of growth is how people see the image. Is that the way people see it or not? If they do, then you tend to have this growth period in which it's available everywhere and sales keep increasing, and even word of mouth helps sell the product. The image itself helps the growth of the product, and this relates very much to a star. So growth, we're looking at a star here. It's already past this introduction. Introduction is similar to this stage, the question mark. We're not sure if you'll be successful or not, if it'll grow, and this is usually represents the question mark, this introduction. The growth represents the star. That's fantastic, and along this line we eventually break even, which is superb because there's a lot of investment in place, especially when introducing new products. And then we reach the maturity stage, and this is your cash cow, where we don't see any more growth. We saturated the market with our product. No more growth available there. So from then onwards, either it declines and turns into a dog because nobody wants it anymore, the fashion is gone, or it's been replaced by new technology or new products, or we have an extension strategy and we have some good promotional campaigns such as names in bottles, which they did for Coca-Cola, which help them stay relevant and help them stay at this stage of maturity, or even generate a little bit more growth. So those are your tools when you're looking at product. I've run out of time, so I'll have to make another one for price and promotion. Have a good day.